G'day everyone and welcome to the Squirrel Nest. I'm Joel and I'll be starting a brand new channel through both streaming and YouTube, which will be dedicated to MTG Arena or Magic the Gathering Arena, which is the brand new platform you can see right in front of you from Wizards of the Coast. Obviously that's a joke, this is MTGO, which is Magic the Gathering Online, as Magic the Gathering Arena is actually still in beta. Closed beta, which means it's not open to the public and we're not allowed to stream or post any of YouTube's screenshots or anything else to social media or anywhere until the NDA is actually released and the game actually releases to the public. So for the moment, I'm just thinking about releasing some YouTube videos around Magic the Gathering Online. I'll probably do a couple of drafts. I'm going to play a game of Commander tonight. I've got a few very, very janky decks that probably won't win, but we'll definitely have some fun playing Commander. So it'll be a limited format. I will be doing drafting. I will also be doing different types of drafting. So I like stipulation drafts. I find them a lot of fun. I don't think enough people actually do stipulation drafts. I think because maybe the value's not in it for a lot of people, but to me, I really want to have some fun, and stipulation drafts are a way of doing that. I'll also be doing competitive drafts, so we can just do a full-on, what would I build a deck around, what's been opened, just to give you guys an idea of what the current meta is like for drafting. I won't be doing things like set reviews for drafting. I'll leave that to better people with better knowledge of the history of Magic. I started around Khans, and my experience with Magic is mostly been from then on. I have opened a couple of boxes from previous sets, like Innistrad, some, I think Dark Ascension, some of the Theros block, but it's not something I've drafted very often. And quite frankly, I'd put myself at the very limited knowledge end of the Magic spectrum. But that being said, I can certainly draft. I don't know how competitive I am, but we'll certainly find out. And we will also, as part of this stream, be doing standard play. So to start off with, I'll probably be doing a lot of looking at the Pro Tours that are happening. So I'm hoping that this game becomes public around Rivals, maybe Dominaria, when Dominaria is released. So we will have a bit of an understanding where the meta's at. I'll have a look at the Pro Tour that's been done, hopefully a little bit earlier than the Ixalan Pro Tour will be done for Dominaria. And we'll have a look at the results and we'll play some of those decks. I'll also be having a look at decks from like SCG Opens and any of the MTG Goldfish decks and data that they provide. Whoa, that started. And from there, we'll have a look at the decks. I also want to do like a user submitted section, so you guys can submit decks that you may want to see play, but you might not want to actually pay for and put together in paper. And that will allow us to see what you guys can build without having to worry about budgets or even whether or not you can win. And a lot of that stuff I will be putting up for YouTube or up on YouTube and streaming, but I'll also be putting up on Twitter for polls to give you guys a chance to vote on it. When a fun card comes out, I will have a look at building around some of those fun cards. Although I don't have a lot of time to be building ultra competitive decks and play testing them with a group of friends and trying to stay at the top tier of the meta, I think I can build some fun decks. Like Abzan Tokens, it was actually a deck I built, probably not as good as and refined as the one that's been in the Pro Tours and I've been in various competitions, but I can certainly have some fun with things like that. And I do enjoy building those kind of janky, maybe not winning, but certainly having a lot of fun while I lose type of decks. And then on top of all of that, we may do some flashback drafts and stuff like that on MTGO. And there will be probably a small amount of content from MGO, but I really want to concentrate on Arena. For those of you who haven't got access to the platform yet, if you haven't signed up, definitely go sign up. This is one fun platform. The guys are putting at Wizards a lot of great work into it. I generally won't give Wizards many compliments when it comes to their digital offerings because, well, look at what's in front of you. but the MTGO Arena, the MTGO replacement, uh, which is Magic the Gathering Arena, they've knocked it out of the park. It is good. At the moment, they've only through this channel. I've got to go read the NDA really carefully. I did used to read contracts for a living, which will help. But I'll read the NDA really closely to see how much information I can give you guys. But definitely go check out the streams on their official Magic the Gathering Arena channel, which I think is just the official Magic the Gathering channel. They've got a lot of gameplay stuff, some visual design interviews, and how they came across designing a lot of it. And it's really interesting if you're into that stuff. I'm hoping that they will release some more cards soon. I'm certainly hoping they'll release Rivals, even if it is in closed beta. I will be cutting back on my paper my paper budget, and I will be putting a lot of my time and efforts into this stream/videos, and this channel. I'm just going to start calling it this channel, and I will also be cutting back on the paper. Sorry, I'm trying to read. I've got to get more proficient about reading cards and talking at the same time, which is something I'm not great at the moment. So the deck that I'm currently playing is a Crash the Bloodblade. So what he does is, whenever a creature dies, you put that many 1/1 counters on him. And what that allows you to do is some fun little shenanigans, especially with like Chandra's Ignition, which I don't even know if he's in this deck. I haven't looked at this deck for a while. I've been meaning to update it. What you can do is you can essentially you build him up and then just hit with him. I've got a couple of equipments that allow him to deal damage as soon as he attacks. So you don't have to worry about getting him through. You can just smash straight in and do damage with him, which is quite effective. There's a couple of double striking trampling enchantments. I think I've got Sword and Feast and Famine in here just for the value of it. But I try to keep my decks under about 5 ticks. And that generally doesn't include cards that I already own. So Sword and Feast and Famine, which is about 2.5 ticks. I don't include that in the budget because I've already owned one, so I don't need to worry about it. I haven't built a deck on MTGO since the release of Hour of Devastation. Hour of Devastation coincided with, apologies for that, that's my phone. Hour of Devastation coincided with the birth of my son, so I haven't played much Magic online because of that. I can promise you that as soon as you have a child, if you don't already have one, they will interfere with everything you do, because as soon as you think you got 5 minutes to yourself, you don't. But I won't go on about that. This is a Magic stream. I encourage everyone to join me on Twitter. I'm at the Squirrel Nest on Twitter, and I'm on YouTube. Obviously, you found me at the Squirrel Nest on YouTube, and then on Twitch at the Squirrel Nest as well. The reason I chose the Squirrel Nest is mainly because I really wanted to build the Legacy Squirrels deck for quite a substantial period of time. I've been too lazy to do that. And then what happened was they released Unstable, and there's a lot of Squirrel cards in Unstable, and it renewed my absolute love of these crazy little squirrel creatures that Magic have got in their history, and obviously still in their presence, because they're still printing some, and it just seemed like a great homey little place with killer 1/1 squirrels. I wonder if anyone's actually going to do anything in this game, or if we're all just going to sit around and just build our mana base up. Mono blue guy is going to do something eventually, surely. You know, like counter the spell I play. What does he do? Strakashima the Imposter. You may enter a copy. Okay, well that sounds bad. 2, 5. We've got 10. Do you reckon he'll counter Kozilek? He's a blue player. He's only got 3 cards in hand, but he does have 10 mana available to him, as well as the Sensei's Divining Top. Let's just go with Crash. At least I can recast him. So black, green, red, and that's not the right order, but boop, boop. I'm absolutely certain this will be counted. Whoa, it resolved. Nice. It's a shame about I have to use my green mana for that because I've got nothing else to do now. Okay, let's pass the turn. I probably should have just built my mana base up more. After this game, I might have some Momi Basic. I've just been getting into Momi Basic lately. I never played it, but I've been watching a lot on YouTube, and it seems like a lot of fun, and apparently it is. I've been going quite well. I got slaughtered today, but the last few days that I've been playing it and getting into it a little bit more to understand how to play it, I've been killing it. It's all luck based. So for those of you that don't know what Momi Basic is, Momi Basic is an avatar based game. So Momi Big is a creature throughout Magic's history, and he has, in this case, he sits in the command zone, and he has an ability that says, pay X mana, discard a land card, and you get a random token from Magic's history with converted mana cost X. And it provides some great fun play. So the object is to pretty much get to your 8 drops. 8 drops seem to have the greatest variety of powerful creatures. Flyers are heavily encouraged. And ooh, what's that guy doing? Oh, he's killing me. Oh, that's not cool. That's not cool at all. I was going to kill him next turn. Well, serves me right. We can still kill him next turn. I think we have enough mana to cast him and flashback, although we were going to do explosive vegetations. Anyway, back to Momir. 8 drops are where it's at. I haven't built the strategy myself. I've been listening to others and their strategies, but they seem pretty solid. So the consensus is you play black and red lands mostly because they're the highest activated abilities of creatures. Things like fire breathing for red, shades in black, and a lot of card draw and stuff in black. And then avoid your forests and your islands purely because a forest walk and island walk. And you do not want to have unblockable creatures in Momo Big. They ruin the game. I mean, your game if you're the one at the receiving end. I had one of the green guys. He's a cat. Every time he attacks, he generates a 2/2 cat, and he's a 5-powered creature. He killed it. Literally killed it. 3 turns, the guy was dead, and he had a forest on the battlefield, and he couldn't do anything. So you avoid your forests and your islands until absolutely necessary. Obviously, ooh, that is some triggers. Thank God someone didn't play Ulamog. Mainly because I wanted to play my Kozilek. I did get a Vandal Blast. That's going to ruin that guy. Assuming he lets it resolve. So what you do is you generally, if you're on the play, you start at turn 3 with a 3-drop. If you're on the draw, you can start at turn 2 with a 2-drop. And that allows you to get to an 8-drop while still maintaining the land in your hand. Card draw creatures are highly valued because it allows you to play an additional land each turn. And if you can get up to like 13, where there's very few creatures, you're a good chance of getting an Emrakul, the Promised End, or 15, you can get the Emrakul, the original Emrakul with Annihilator 7 or whatever the hell it is, the flying trample protection from heaps of crap. And they'll essentially win the game for you. But there's a lot of bald stalls, there's a lot of randomness, there's a lot of stuff. And shots. Man, this shots guy, he's got a freaking deck. Mana Drain, Mind Control Magic, Treachery. Built a deck like this. A green-blue deck similar to this, but man, this guy's got the cards. I do not have these cards in my Magic inventory. And the worst thing is, he's now got fully untapped again. Jeez. Yeah, he cannot let my Vandal Blast resolve. Let's see if he wants to counter a Soul Ring before I Vandal Blast, shall we? That thing should have... Yeah, it does. It's got Summoning Sickness. gotta remove my upkeep stuff. I don't know why I've got to stop on my own upkeep. Ah, at least that guy wheeled it into another forest. Let's play a Sol Ring first, because you should always play Sol Rings. They are busted. Turn 1, 2 mana. Nice. I'm really waiting for that to be banned. I'm still completely flabbergasted it hasn't. I mean, they can't really because they've put it in every single commander deck they've ever printed. But, I mean, seriously. If you're playing 2-player, a Sol Ring is the difference between winning and losing. In your opening hand, that is. Whoa, what a surprise. The guy has a counter. Wait, no, that's not a surprise at all. He always is going to have a freaking counter. Have we got to play Crash? Boop. Yeah, just enough. Hopefully he doesn't have another one. Hopefully someone else can ruin his mana base for me. Oh, my Fleshbag Marauder's in the exile zone. No. Oh, wait, I shuffled it back in with Kozilek. So as you can tell from this, when I said I wasn't a competitive player, let that not overshadow the fact that I am a competitive player. I might play with the top tier competitive decks, but freaking hell, inside a game, I am competitive. I will trash talk. I will do anything I can to win a game, but I will leave it all inside the game. Guys, do not be salty after a game. It's only a game at the end of the day. The guy who messaged me, which we would have heard a ding earlier, man, he beat the crap out of me the other day in turn 4, and I was PO'd beyond belief. But again, he's a friend. It's only a game, and I beat him up the next game because he took me out in turn 4. And good on him. He built his deck so he could take me out in turn 4. Like, well, not just me, but someone, and I was just his target. And you got to give people credit for that. But then you have to destroy them the next game. Let nothing go unpunished. Funny story though, at the Ixalan pre-release, I tried to get to all the pre-releases. I think pre-releases are one of the funnest versions of Magic because no one really knows what's going on, especially in a sealed pool where your sealed pools are never really the greatest set of cards. And this guy, he got so salty. He pulled an awesome... So his 4 rare was Huatli, and he thought he had the bee's knees of a deck. And when I beat him, and to be fair, I had a really good deck, but it didn't matter how good my deck is or how good I built it. I beat him, and the only reason I beat him was because he didn't play properly, and he had the better cards, and he just stuffed up. Nothing to do with me. Everything was about him. Which came unstuck the next game when he played against some kid who hadn't played very much Magic, and he quit the tournament and left after the second round. And as far as I'm concerned, goodbye. You don't need that type of person in Magic. You don't need that type of person around you, especially when you've got new players in. And guys, always be careful about new players because you need new players to grow the game, which makes the game better. And you don't need to scare them off. This game is intimidating enough as it is. I haven't explained one bit about Magic in the last 20 minutes I've been talking, and if I was to start, I'd be talking for another 4 more hours. And I talk enough as it is, so no one needs me talking for 4 hours about how to play Magic. And but if anyone wants to learn to play Magic, if you're listening to this and you haven't played Magic before and you're just looking at this going, wow, this is a cool looking game, I want to get into this game. It's now no longer supported at an ongoing maintenance basis, but Magic Duels on iPad, Steam, probably other platforms that I haven't played. I think it's on Xbox. It's definitely not on PlayStation because all the PlayStation people were complaining about that by an Xbox people. And it's great. It's got a lot of rules in it. It's got a lot of tutorials in it. It's nothing like MTGO. It's obviously not as comprehensive as MTGO, but Magic Duels will teach you everything you need to know to get started to play Magic. Probably the biggest problem in learning things is not knowing um, how to even ask questions about a game. Um, Jules will get you to the point where you're asking very intelligent questions and very important questions, especially in relation to the more complicated things, like as you see there, the stack. Oh god, these people are copying spells. That is not good. Expropriate. Council's dilemma. Starting with you. Each player votes for time or money. For each time vote. Oh, he's countering it. Take an extra turn after this one. For each money vote, choose a permanent owned by that voter and gain control of it. Exile, expropriate. We're all dead. If we can't block that, we're all dead. And I'd say that because I am not letting him steal my permanents. He can have an extra turn. I'll chump block him for days. He doesn't have trample, and I've got 2 blockers. I'm assuming time is the extra one. Yep, time. There you go. He's got 2 extra turns so far. I'm hoping these 2 guys who don't have much to lose will. I mean, Cavern Assaults, but who cares? He's the blue deck. He's not counter. He's the one countering stuff. Yeah, hopefully these guys will let him take stuff, and man, otherwise he's going to get a lot of extra turns. Let's bring up the chat. The chat also has the rules window, so. Oh, okay. So he's got 3 extra. This guy's having 3 other turns on top of this one, so I can at least block 2 of those turns. But Godlike's probably going to be taken out by his own commander here. Is he attacking me? No, he's not. So what I can do now is I can block with Bird, sack Bird to Ashnod's Altar, and then that way my Kresh gets bigger. My Bird doesn't take the damage. It doesn't have trample, so I don't take damage. And always yes. And my Kresh is going to get bigger, so this is sweet. He's blue. He's got 3 cards and 4 turns. He is going to be probably bouncing my Kresh and attacking me. If he decides to attack me, he'll probably bounce Kresh. Or exile him with something like Reality Shift. Or one of my favorite ones, Curse of the Swine. It turns all creatures turns all the creatures used to target into little pig soldiers. They look so cool. I do have a thing about tokens. I like tokens. I think tokens are great. The artwork's great. There's obviously nothing fancy about them, but having tokens instead of just little dice representing tokens to me is awesome. Which reminds me, I'm going to have to go buy some Squirrel tokens. I'm really hoping to get a foil Squirrel token out of the box of Unstable that I've got, which I haven't drafted yet. Oh, he stole Outpost Siege. No, this guy's going to... Oh my god, this is disgusting. Well, if he attacks me, I'm going to double block it and sack my Bird to make Kresh kill it. Oh my god, this guy has got so much mana. It's 5, 6, 7, 13, 15, 17. I mean, I'm not far behind him, but wow, he's mono blue. He's going after that guy again. Man, I wonder what he's got against that guy. Well, at least he's not attacking me. Harsh Mentor will bite it, and the Kresh will get bigger. Oh, he took it. Wow. Ballsy. I mean, he's blue, so he's not like going to have pump spells, but ballsy. So, for those of you who don't know, sorry, this is Calamity, Disciple of Eros. Legendary creature, Giant Soldier, Double Strike Vigilance. Whenever you cast a creature spell with 5 or greater, you get an experience counter. Calamity, Disciple of Eros gets 1+1 for each experience counter you have. So that's from the M15. Yeah, M15 commander decks. It's probably one of the lesser known ones. There you go, that's better. the notable ones from those ones was Marin. Yeah, that was probably for my money, the only good one. I've got a Marin deck. I've taken out competitions with it at my local gaming store. Marin is ridiculous. This guy might kill him with his self-defeating mana vault. Just kidding. He doesn't have that many extra turns. So mana vault is, and I'll get better at this, guys, I promise, as I go through. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may pay 4 if you do untap mana vault. At the beginning of your draw step, if mana vault is tapped, it deals 1 damage to you. Tap, add 3 mana. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 17, 18, 19. 19 mana. And he's got 2 more turns after this one. He's also got a copy of my freaking Crash. God damn it. Who's he coming at? He's going at those 2 guys. That's okay. Man, I need to draw something good. So I can attack him for what? I can attack him for a lot. If I do that, that becomes a 7/7. Sack it, he becomes 17. That's not enough to kill him. If I can draw something good here, I might be able to one-shot that guy, but he's got so much mana, and he's going to have a counterspell. I can't see it resolving. I bet you he's going to copy my... Oh no, thankfully my guy's not in there anymore. What's this guy? Oh man. I really need a board wipe. This should be his last turn. I was going to write a snide comment, but don't be salty, people. Even if it isn't jest. Sorry, I'll get better at showing the cards. Jareth again, Titan blocks, gets +7/+7, and it can gain protection from any card. Oh my god, another 3 mana. So I think the count's 20, plus Myriad Landscape, so 21. It counts at 21, I think. Feel free to correct me in the comments below. Man, this is not going well. Who's he coming after? Not me. Not me. And he's not. Is he attacking with that one? He's not. Man, that guy's copping a beating. Ben Lagan, 14 calamity damage. That is the problem. I tried to build, and I have got in my collection a Locust God deck, but it is really slow. Yeah, when you get going and you win. But the Locust God is really... Oh, look at that, I got a turn. And I drew a land. Of course I drew a land. Why wouldn't I draw a land? So I can get him up to 17, which doesn't mean anything to him. Oh man, we need to draw some cards. I've got a lot of card drawing here too. I need to put some of the more recent card drawing here, especially from the cat deck. There's some really good cards in there. Like draw card. Oh. There's Hunter's Prowess, but that's not from there. There is a couple of good card draws in there. I can't remember, but I probably should put the Aether Revolt card or Aether Revolt block card that says draw cards equal to the greatest power of one of the creatures you control. Yeah, it's Rishkar's expertise. I really need some card draw. Let's pull up the deck. Should we pull up the deck? Yeah, magic is not going well for me. For some reason, I have to use this thing here. First strike. Everyone gets double damage except for him. He gets half damage. Oh, hopefully that is... Oh, good, it's going to Calamity. So this one is Gisela, Blade of Gold Knight. Flying, first strike. If a source would deal damage to an opponent or permanent an opponent controls, it deals double that damage, and it's the opposite of him. If it deals damage to him or a permanent he controls, he gets half of that damage. What's this guy doing? Wait, what? Oh, Crush didn't get any counters because Calamity went to the command zone. Ooh. Oh, is this guy getting a wheel? When does that... Oh, how many time counters are left on that? Next turn he wheels. Okay, next turn, people. Next turn we get a brand new hand. And I'm gonna love it. Oh, choose me, I'll give you all the cards. And the crowd goes silent. There we go. Ah, Norn. For anyone that doesn't know what Norn is, it's a classic. So Norn the Wary. Whenever a player casts a spell or attacks a creature attacks, exile Norn the Wary. Return it to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. There's so many fun things you can do with it, and it's so annoying to deal with. So what you can do is you can trade it away for another permanent, and then that way he gets exiled and comes back to you. Or you can have it with something like Warstorm Surge or Perforos, and then every time it comes in, that better not be me. No, that's him. Oh, good. And it's just, you can't deal with it. You need something like Royal Assassin, which says tap, kill a creature, or non-black creature, and then that way it's not casting a spell or attacking. All you're doing is just activating an ability that takes out Norn. But when it's their commander and he's 1 mana and you can just continually come back and back and back. Things like Outpost Siege are really good with it when you don't have it on the draw card. You have it on the when a creature leaves the battlefield, deal 1 damage. Because every turn he's leaving and coming back. So potentially it's 4 or 5 damage every turn. I'm sure there's more people out there that are more familiar with the card that does a ton more things than that than what I'm giving it credit for. But I think that guy's going to lose his board. Yeah, he lost his board. There was no way that was coming after my stuff. My stuff's crap compared to his. This guy's got an awesome blue deck. There comes that back. I assume he's probably going to copy Gisela. Yeah, he's copying Gisela. Thankfully, she doesn't give everything haste. Otherwise, that would be busted as anything. I mean, she's quite a lot of mana, but still. We don't need that crap. Man, what am I going to do? I really need to deal with that guy's board. Is that coming at me? Yeah. It's first strike, right? Yeah. Well, I'm going to kill it. Well, I'm going to attempt to kill it anyway. I'm going to get priority back, sack the bird, put some more counters on. See if that worked. What? How did that not work? Oh, it deals double damage. Freaking Gisela. Oh man, I balls that up. Oh man, I could have hit him for so much damage that turn. And now he's tapping out. I would have had the chance. He's gonna cast Kozilek. The new one, not the old one. Oh no, Rite of Replication, kicked. Awesome. I will die before giving him one card, just so he knows. Oh, he quit and he still got the triggers. Boo. Man, that guy's deck is great. I had a deck similar built around Rashmi, but man. No, you can't draw cards. You're a blue deck. I'm going to take the guess that you're running a really low converted mana cost curve. Whoa! Ah, freaking dig through time. Yeah, I'd rather be dead. So before I sign off for my first video, um, I'll show you guys the deck that I've built for Crash. There's a lot of land destruction in here as well. I encountered a few people in MTGO that had busted land, like just every land was like a masterpiece. Or what are the Zendikar lands called? Expedition lands and stuff like that. So I thought, stuff these people, they're gonna just pay for it. So I put Ruination in, which is destroy all non-basic lands. There's a lot of basic lands for a 3-color deck in my deck. I'm not going to go through each one. Price of Progress is really cool. Destructive Flow. Probably no one's ever heard of this card, but man, it's good. It's so many people have raged quit against that. Yeah, I know it's me being a complete tool, but yeah, it's great. Having a sack a land when you run like 20 of your lands, of your 35 lands as non-basic, just drives people insane. Wave of Vitriol again, sacrifice all lands that are non-basic, and then you get to go find a basic. But if you've already run out of your basics, you're not getting any. Or if you're not running any, you're not getting any. So that's also very, very punishing. One of my new favorite cards is Torment of Hailfire. I put that in there not because I think it's actually good for this deck, but because I just like it. That's about it. Heroic Intervention, good card. I think it's very good utility, but there's nothing exciting about it. I got Crash up to about a 300 and sacked into this and died when I drew my entire library. I did that just because I could. Demon of Dark Schemes, I think it's a little bit underplayed, but given the mana cost, I can probably see why. Primal Order. Yeah, again, non-basic land hate. None of that came out this time. That's my land. That's my deck. High-ish mana curve, but a lot of fun. I pretty much include him in all my decks in case I'm playing Mill. So thanks everyone for watching. I hope to see you around the channel and streams when I start streaming. But until then, later mates.